copy of the fucking Narnia over in the SDM. Me and my siblings got sent to another world by a wardrobe, but my little brother got seduced by an evil Shotokan witch, so now we have to team up with the talking lion to wage war against her.
Oh,
no!
I mean, technically
so
they aren't
good.
wrong.
That's
They aren't
definitely
technically
a light
wrong.
Novel. Yo,
Written
that's
by
definitely
C.S.
a light
Lewis.
novel.
Another alternative suggestion given for the light novel of Chronicles of Narnia is that time I was transported to another world by my uncle where I ran away from a witch while a lion creates the entire world.
Okay, now here's the question: What do they do with the Hobbit?
I don't want to know.
Wait.
Good question.
That time I got lost in a fantasy world and ended up being taken. Wait, what is that? What is Mr.
That time
Tumnus?
a wizard shanghaied me into going on a dangerous quest that I never actually needed to go on.
That time I found out I was
That
a
time
wizard in a
13
magical
dwarves
world.
broke into my house and ate all my food.
That time I found out I was a wizard in a magical world.
Oh god. Fucking stop. Hello! Now that I've blown out everyone's ears.
It peaked a bit too early for that, actually.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
I hope everyone is ready for tonight, because we got Stanish in here tonight. And of course, I am SneakyDevil.
Which means it's time to ring that torture bell!
It's time to duel!
I thought I'd be nice and drop by for you sad motherfuckers.
Yeah, and then we,
Hold on a minute.
just...
Hold on a minute. That time I accidentally became a terrorist? What is Underplayed Creations talking about?
Oh, wait, what? You know, that happens.
I'm really trying to figure out what he's referencing.
Come out, ye black and tans.
No, it's
That's
clearly
not Sneaky. There's nothing accidental about that.
Wait, that is oh shit.
You gave her a car bomb. I said give her a Koron.
No. That's fucking that's fucking. Oh, what is that trio called? What is that fucking book series called? The Hunger Games. That time I accidentally became a terrorist.
Okay, fair. Fair.
He has a point.
Jesus Christ. That time I participated in a live-action death game, but accidentally ended up becoming a terrorist.
And overthrowing the government. It's just Katniss with the fucking red eyes and the skull mask.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So anyway, because Stanish has graced us with his presence tonight, we have some Game of Thrones stories to throw at y'all tonight. And boy, are they bad.
All I'm good for in life.
Another month of sandwiches. Yes.
Cool. Excellent.
I don't know what kind of sandwiches that you think can supply a month's worth off of $3, but I would like to find out.
You see, Sneaky, by sandwiches they mean booze.
I suppose. I don't know what kind of booze you can buy for $3 either.
The really bad Russian kind.
Though, then again, apparently, at the inconvenience store, as per Callie's words, you can buy a bottle of red wine for $1.
Jesus, that can't be good at all.
No,
200 yen.
Also, according to her,
kind of.
it is absolute garbage.
Okay, but she lives in Japan. It's not like they have good wine to begin with.
I mean, that's fair, but also it's like, why are you still buying it, Callie?
It's not for the taste, it's for the alcohol content.
What alcohol content?
Good question. I don't have an answer for
If
you.
you're drinking $1 wine.
Well, $2 I think it is.
Yeah, it's $2 wine.
200 yen.
At the end of the day, that $2 wine is either going to be pure alcohol, or it's going to be absolutely watered down trash.
I got wine for $2. Are you
Fermented grape juice.
Are you okay?
Are you alright? Well, I mean, we did get to see Callie break down crying in one of her last Zatsudan streams, so...
Wait, why are you people happy about that?
It's
I
cute.
wasn't.
Yeah. We weren't, but it was cute.
She did make one of the drinking rules. Chat makes her laugh though, so that got out of hand.
Yeah, that was a bad idea.
Yeah, that was kind of a spiraling cycle. Anyway, so this is Never Alone, a Van Helsing Game of Thrones crossover. Now, I'm going to be real with you guys. I never actually watched, read, looked up, know anything about Van Helsing.
Me neither.
I know, like, the gist of it because it's kind of like the origin of modern vampire stories, vampire hunting stories. But I really don't know jack shit. So we're going to be mostly just here to torture Stanish with it.
As we do.
So anyway, Never Alone. For over 400 years, I was caged, bound in ice and snow, and now I run free. Throughout the western fields and golden mountains, I am the dread wolf of Hearthstone, the wolf of the west. Stand with me or fear my coming, for I am never alone. Werewolf self-insert OC.
Jesus fucking Christ, that was so cringe.
OC
But was it
times
cringe?
Lyanna Stark.
Cringe.
Worse. Oh, can't wait for this.
Disclaimer. I don't own Van Helsing, Game of Thrones, or Song of Ice and Fire.
Wow.
Because those are apparently different properties.
They are, in fact, different properties.
I know you will stand by that statement. This is a fan-made piece of fiction. Well, we'll see how much of a fan you really are. By the words of my house, know that I'm never alone. Speech. Well, at least you got some of the grammar correct, sort of. Wow, I didn't think stupidity could come in such small packages as the Joffrey cunt. I suppose that is, at least okay amounts of grammar for a thought. And then random solid blocks of color for wolf howls and roars, because apparently that's important to let us know that those are roars. Even though it probably should be a little bit obvious. But, you know, whatever. Author's note. This is just a prelude to one of our new stories that is in the works, along with a few others. As a result of working on a number of different ideas at the same time, this is going to be a slow burn fic, which I believe just means the author is going to drag their feet at doing anything.
Wow.
It means the author doesn't know how to pace things correctly.
Yeah.
That's just literally all it means. To be fair, George is not great at pacing things either.
Yes. Yeah, I picked up on that with the time scale going on with his books. Enjoy the tease that is this chapter. Oh, I'm so glad this is a teaser chapter.
Ugh.
And hopefully it is well received for many future updates.
You just said that
FYI.
it's going to be slow.
Yeah. FYI, good reception.
No, he said the
judged.
pacing's going to be slow. That doesn't mean he won't shit out
No, he
two-word
said that-
chapters.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
FYI,
How many
good
words
reception.
are in this?
How many chapters are currently written?
Yeah, and how many words to those?
6 chapters, 32k words.
That's not bad.
Also, it is really weird now that Gray and I have finished arc 1 of our story. I'm now looking at other stories and it's like, oh yeah, we're finally, at this point in my story. It's like 70k words and they've been writing it for 3 years. I'm like, bruh.
Yeah, hey, when you putting up the next pile of that trash fire?
I'm actually working on it right now. I had to end up rewriting a giant section of it because by the time we got to the end of that scene, we just really didn't like the whole thing. So kind of have to completely change it now and completely rewrite it because we weren't going to salvage it at all. We were just throwing the whole thing out.
Unfortunate.
But in the meantime, while I'm rewriting those sections, both Chapter 1 and 2 of Arc 2 have been written. So once I actually get through with fixing it all up, we should be able to...
Gray speed versus sneaky speed.
Well, yeah, but Gray wouldn't be writing shit if it wasn't for me, so...
True. I'm just saying it's a lot faster than you.
Oh, I know.
Doesn't mean equality is that much better, or better at all.
Jesus Christ, you would not read this. Let me be real here, now that Gray's not here. You would not read this story if it wasn't for me editing it. Because, holy shit,
yeah.
some of the ideas he was coming up with for this story, I was just like, fucking Christ, I'm gonna use my authorial mandate to put an X on that.
Yeah. It's understandable.
Press X to know.
I'm gonna press this big red button here and a giant neon sign of an X is gonna pop up.
Yeah.
Alright, whatever you say, Death.
Anyway, so... Do you know the Muffin Man? No, I'm just kidding. Do you know the last time I felt the warmth of the sun on my face?
Okay, now hold on a second. I want to take a moment to say, do you know the Muffin Man would probably be a better crossover?
A little bit.
Defo.
You know what? Stannis, that's your job. Write the Muffin Man. Do you know the Muffin Man who lives on what's the capital? What's the capital city again?
Landing? King's
Yeah,
Landing?
do you know the Muffin Man who lives on the castle in King's Landing?
On the castle. He just lives on top of it.
Just lives on it.
Now I'm thinking of like an atmospheric like horror thing where like it's just you've been told over and over about the Muffin Man and you're finally going to like Drury Lane and
You
like
know,
you find
I would really like to see a instance of meme culture happening, and you know stuff like Song of Ice and Fire would actually be a pretty good one because it's pretty heavy in the politics. I would like to see what this sort of meme of Kilroy was here would produce, you know? Because during World War II, two different memes, the guy looking over the wall and Kilroy was here, ended up being combined. And every single fucking faction, every country, actually had tasked their intelligence officers into finding out who this Kilroy was and why he was such a good spy that he apparently has been everywhere across the front and no one's been able to detect him.
Oh, that's fucking funny. That'd be great.
Like, the Germans were trying to figure it out, the Russians were trying to figure it out, we were trying to figure it out, the British were trying to figure it out. Like, everyone was trying to figure out who the fuck Kilroy was and who he was working for. But in the end, it was just fucking American and British soldiers scratching that everywhere.
Yeah.
But I would love to see a sort of story that just, like, played off of that.
It could work. It could work.
Do you know the last time I felt... Yeah, as a one-shot, yeah.
Just a one-shot, yeah.
Do you know the last time I felt the warmth of the sun on my face, the breeze through my hair? I cannot. Too long have I been trapped here, in the lightless bowels of a castle I have never seen, in a land I do not know. My tormentor told me of his amusement, and that you have lost your memory. Wait, hold on. Your point of view shifting and tense shifting here. What the fuck? My tormentor told me of his amusement and that you have lost your memories of the life you once shared with us long ago. Well, Jesus Christ, that's like 3 different point of view shifts.
It's also like a fucking huge run-on sentence.
Yeah. I almost envy you. Okay, are you talking to yourself still? Are you talking to the audience? Semicolon. To be free of the knowledge of your long life while I am forced to endure my own existence with an ever-growing memory of this cursed cell. Actually, that's not per se due to long lifespan. That's more the realm of eidetic memory. Because if you're staying in one area for a very long time, your brain actually kind of just like compresses.
Yeah.
Just compresses all those memories.
Just gets smaller.
No, because it's like, this is not a great place to be. Let's edit this.
It's not even that. It's if you're in a specific area for a very long time, like say you're living in one house for 20 years, you somewhat lose the perception of time in that house, because how your brain stores memories is your emotions that you felt during that time, but relevant details such as when it took place can often be lost unless they are unique. So like say you were falling off a mountain, you're always going to remember how 5 years ago you fell off that mountain. But if you tripped one day and you stubbed your toe in the other, and and then you spilled coffee on yourself another day, and you cut yourself another day because your knife slipped or whatever while you were chopping carrots or something inside your home, you're going to lose the sense of time of when exactly those events occurred over time. Because of how long you're spending inside this one location, your brain actually stops saving certain amounts of data because it's just the same image over and over again. And it can just reference an earlier image of it to be like, oh yeah, that's the oven. That's like... the human brain does a whole lot of hacks, basically, to compress data. It's like fucking WinRAR when it comes to the compressing data, where it's just like, oh, that looks similar enough, you don't need that anymore. Look, I've saved you 10 gigabytes.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You did what?
Look, all of these pictures labeled last trip to the beach with dad were too similar. I deleted them.
Yeah, effectively.
I mean, listen, I would not be surprised if there was a WinRAR story about that.
Do we play the veto roulette? I keep forgetting to look that up and give it a read. It's like I don't know whether he's writing a paraphrasing or dialogue. Yeah, pretty much Super Potatoes. He does. He's clearly just losing. Like the worst part about it is that he so boldly proclaimed that I'm going to be giving you guys an index so you understand what my masterful writing is when I'm writing it, and then he proceeds to fuck up his own writing. It doesn't even follow the index.
Well, it's fanfiction authors for you.
Imagine Don Machi if it went full Game of Thrones. That'd be kind of cool. Sort of, I guess. The problem is there's such a power scaling difference between like even a rank 1 and a rank 2 adventurer that it's just very. Code Dory, Foxo Aurorio, I've recommended that series before, does a decent job at injecting a heavy amount of politics into Don Machi, but it's still not quite, assassination plots going on every chapter and your favorite character dying left and right. It's very much more of a heavy politics, but Tolkien style.
What does Tolkien style mean?
The good guys survive and the bad guys die.
Ah.
Is there also like more pronounced magic systems? Like,
Don Machi?
Yeah, is the magic like more out in the open?
Yes, heavily so, by the way. Like some races have special racial magics. Sometimes you can get magic from being blessed by a god and it's unique to you. Sometimes you can be born with a special like genetic magic that like only you or your family has access to.
So Kekkei Genkai, okay.
Yeah, sometimes you can just like start chanting random words and the spirits around you will be like, hey, that sounds pretty cool, we'll do that. And then that's how you can cast magic. Sometimes you read a book and you have the words of a spell branded into your mind, and then from then on you can just scream the spell at the top of your lungs to cast it.
No, I mean that's just what grimoires are. In the that's part of the actual lore.
I'm aware.
This is a super magical book.
You realize I was listing all canon stuff, right?
I didn't know about the just start chanting one.
Yeah, only the elves can do that. Yeah, the spirits only listen to elves.
Damn, racists.
Yeah.
Cringe. Elves? Disgusting.
Knife-eared fucks.
Fucking knife ears.
Listen, it isn't racism if they're magical and fake.
But what if we make them fake? Does it stop being racism?
Yes.
No. See, the real thing is
The massacre of Lothlorien didn't happen. What are you talking about?
There are no elves. There's never been a massacre.
The rape of Lothlorien didn't happen.
Can't happen if there were no one to rape.
Ulafon has always been fallen.
The sundering of the Sunwell never happened, guys.
what? Can you even prove there was a Sunwell in the first place, bro?
Exactly.
You just got a bunch of coked out elves saying it existed. They were high all the time. How do they know?
They
if the
aren't
well
even
was there?
elves, bro. They're just those cosplayers.
They're mutants.
They're just humans with pointy ears.
They're just genetic abnormalities of humans. Honestly, we should round them up, put them into camps,
to concentrate
them and move them back into
Yeah, help them
society.
focus.
No. Listen.
We'll
They're
just
all...
shave the ears a little bit.
What did I stumble into?
They're all
they
just
have to
elf
do-
posers.
All they have to do is wear a patch on their body that depicts an elf ear. Well, not an elf ear. Let's be clear here.
No.
Abnormality
It's
ear.
clearly just a picture of the Sunwell.
Shame that elves aren't explored in Familiar of Zero fanfiction more, because people like to explore the stations of canon and will never get that far. Well, you also have to keep in mind the author of Familiar of Zero died, so she never actually got to the point where they could talk about the elves in canon. So there's a reason why they've never been explored, is because they literally have no lore for them.
The thing is that if you're actually a decent fucking story writer, you'll come up with something that's decent.
Right, yeah, but the thing is that lots of fan fiction relies on people's familiarity with the setting and stuff they're talking about, and if you just start going off on your elf OC of Familiar of Zero, it can either go really well and people will be really interested, or you can instantly sink that ship before it even sails. So
let me again point out, elves don't exist. They're not elves. Genetic abnormality.
All I'm saying is that the elves in Familiar of Zero are actually just Pope propaganda made by the church to convince people that they need to pay
keep
taxes.
The masses down.
True.
Max, what is your stance on whether or not elves are real?
What's your stance on the elf propaganda?
Yeah, right. We know they aren't, but I want to know his thoughts.
Again,
I don't know what's going on. I came in on someone saying we should contain them. Wait, hang on a second.
No, to be clear,
not a good point to jump in on. Clearly.
Wait. These are detention facilities that are there for their own good to reintegrate them into society.
They're population concentration centers.
Once you convince them to get rid of the fake ears, it's for their own benefit, really.
So we take their children from them, and then we re-educate those children, and then we sterilize their women, so there can't be any more of these things.
Yeah, so that's the solution to the elf question.
Okay, look, no, but seriously though, you guys laugh about this, but this is a genuine thing that Aragon actually had to touch on, because the humans were kept. the humans were successfully encroaching on elf territory in Aragon, and were like steadily chipping away at the forest. And the elves were like, "How do we stop the humans? Just so fucking many of them."
The EQ. Oh my god, dude. The elf question.
All right, we're done here. Now that you successfully made a joke out of one of the worst things in history, and I helped, we're done here.
In regards with familiarity of canon, how would you go about exploring things that aren't typically shown in canon, say an alternate world of Shield Hero or Elves and Familiar of Zero? I think a key thing you have to take into account when you're writing fan fiction is the direction you are generally writing in, but also at the same time the fandom you're writing for. So, Familiar of Zero plays really fast and loose with both how everything works, and really doesn't take too much time to really go in and explain anything. Like, why are they called line mages? Oh, because they connect two elements. How the fuck does that make a line? It doesn't matter. If they can just cast harder spells, they're line mages, they're circle mages, they're dot mages, they're triangle, square, pentagon mages.
No, I thought that was explained because each magic point is treated as a literal dot. They're literally doing geometry.
Yeah.
With their type of
but,
makes sense.
Yeah, but it has absolutely no relation. Like it has absolutely no relation. It's like you basically be calling like
it's more propaganda by the church,
right?
They want to get to that pentagram.
Look, effectively, the thing is that there's no actual like.
It was probably just a really cool world building thing they were doing, yes, but
yes,
like
that's sort of my point though. It didn't have.
Well, yeah, okay, but if we boil it down to that, like. There's this magic ring designed to enslave everyone else's magic ring. Well, that's neat.
Ring.
No. See, but the thing, there's a difference though. The difference between Lord of the Rings' magical one ring to rule them all thing, and say Familiar of Zero. Why are they a line mage? Oh, because they connected two elements. Oh, why is that considered a line? Because it just is. The difference between those two things is you are using line mage to just dictate to the audience in a simpler term how powerful someone is. Instead of having to describe how strong someone is each time you introduce a new character, you can just say, "Oh no, don't fight them, they are a square mage." And the audience
why
knows.
Is that a bad thing though?
It's literally
it sounds like you're denigrating it, Sneaky. So I'm trying to understand what the point is.
No, it's the equivalent of Junin, Chonin, and Genin in Naruto.
I was gonna say it's literally that.
Yeah,
or where's the one being an Ambu
Right, but it doesn't have any actual lore significance. Like there is nothing important in the lore concerning. Line, square, dot.
It's just a quick Sneaky. It's literally just a quick reference of a dot mage can only use one element, a line mage can use two, a triangle can use three. Like it's just a quick system. That's it.
That is my point.
It's also
you are reiterating my own point back to me.
What?
I don't know. He ate his mic, so he's gonna have to.
That's my fucking point. You are reiterating my own point back to me.
Okay, the problem is you're making it like it's meant to be a negative.
The way
but we
you,
don't
Sneaky,
get
your
why.
tone of voice and the way you are speaking of it makes it sound derogatory.
It is derogatory. Fuck you.
Why? That's what we're asking. We're asking you to explain why it's bad.
I didn't say it's bad. I'm just saying I'm derogatory towards it.
My fucking god, dude.
Yeah, actually, okay.
No, but seriously, I was giving it as an example.
Brained in this bitch.
No, I was giving it as an example because Familiar of Zero doesn't go too deep into how everything works. And so, if you're creating new lore for Familiar of Zero, typically you shouldn't be going super deep into trying to explain it either.
Okay. I think I got an example here. So what you're saying is, know your audience in that the fandom you're writing for has certain expectations when it comes to the world building around it. Now, if you're gonna write a fanfic in fucking Middle Earth,
Right.
the fandom for that fandom is known as a lot more able to like take fucking lore and
Lore
world
dumps.
building for just
Yeah.
lore and world building's sake.
Yes.
So if people want to dump like paragraphs of shit you've just come up with
Yeah.
into that,
Yeah.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're talking about something like Familiar of Zero, maybe we try to make this a little bit more palatable to an audience that isn't as used to that. Is that what you're
it's
trying to
not
get
even,
at?
it's not even
Autistic.
as used to it. It's the expectation the canon has set. Like, Lord of the Rings is known for telling the story about the fucking leaf that just fell from the tree. And Familiar Zero...
Because listen, that
not
leaf
so much.
was there at the beginning of time.
Right, yes, fine, yes. But anyway, point being is that Familiar Zero, not so much. And so when you're trying to create new canon that seems like it should be canon,
Okay.
you want to keep in mind what you are writing for. And that's what I was using the example
I
of the
agree.
whole line dot square thing. Does it make any sense? No, not really. Do they ever really explain
Kind
it?
of does though.
Not really.
Kind
I mean,
does,
because
though.
we get to a
Yes.
pentagram.
Basic fucking
5
geometry.
is bigger than 4, so people who are 5 are stronger than people who are 4. Yeah, it makes sense. Yes, Arn, thank you.
Well, I don't think it's supposed to be stronger
Yeah,
than.
amazing
It's
math.
not specifically stronger. It's to talk about like your affinity. It has nothing to do with strength.
No, it has nothing to do with affinity.
No, it seems to be just like the general rule of thumb is that a dot mage will probably lose to a line, but there's no reason this dot mage can't just be super good at fire, as opposed to this line that's good at fire. and earth.
because a line mage can be say you're a dot mage of fire, and to become a line mage, you can either stack fire on top of fire and become a line mage of fire, or you can learn earth or something and become a line
don't
mage of fire
think-
earth.
No, I don't
That's
think
not how that
that's
works.
how the magic works in
No.
there.
Yeah, it is.
No. No, it isn't.
All right, Max, you're the fact checker. Fact check.
I literally have the wiki page pulled up where the class levels are literally just talking about, do you have access to different elements? That's all
I'm
that's
pretty
there.
sure it has to do with like an affinity, essentially.
That's what
Yeah.
I just said.
No, you fucking,
No, it isn't.
you fucking moron.
Do you have
Sneaky.
access to different
Holy
elements?
shit.
That's what I just fucking
Yeah,
said.
different. Not stacking the same fucking
You
thing
said,
on itself.
You said stacking. You were the person
Yes,
who brought up stacking. Okay.
yes, because they're fucking points. If
No,
you're gonna talk
that's not
about
how that
shit
works.
like
Different
points,
fucking
you
That's not how that
stack
works.
points.
That's not how that works, though. They're not points, though.
That's what Max
just-
fucking called them.
No, he called them dots.
He
First off.
called them
And
points.
each element has a dot.
And you
Yeah.
can connect different dots with a line or more lines, creating a shape. You can't connect the same dot to itself, you fucking retard.
You can't
doesn't
stack
create anything.
elements.
All right, then
That's still a
explain to
fucking
me,
dot.
Mr. Megamind here. Then explain to me how fucking, I don't know, Karen can only use wind.
Dot mage.
She's
She's
not
a
though.
dot
She's a
mage.
square.
You fucking.
Bring the wiki up
Terrible.
now. I need to see
That's
that.
Yeah.
what I'm trying to do. Here's the problem. I have
Should be
not
playing
seen a wiki
Minesweeper.
this poorly taken care of in a while.
Oh yeah, no, it's horrendously taken care of.
Because they're like, oh, Karen's a square. Her primary affinity is wind. And I'm like, okay, well, how does this
Primary,
work
yes.
though?
This is my
Primary.
point, though. There is no
Whoa.
fucking detail on this shit that actually explains in a concise
it's-
manner, with any lore behind it, why shit's called square dot line triangle. There is nothing there. There's no substance.
Well, because the dots first, and
Yeah,
secondly,
but what's a dot?
just one. It literally just deals with
Fucking
affinity.
Christ.
It
So you
literally
have
just
4
deals with
affinities
affinity.
for wind, and that makes you a square mage automatically?
No.
Well,
No.
explain
No.
this to me, genius.
No.
This is the shit I'm fucking talking about.
Oh my
Fucking
god,
Christ.
you're so.
Did you
fucking
hear the
retarded.
fucking primary?
Yeah. Oh, primary. What's her secondaries? Oh wait, they
I don't
aren't
know, the
fucking
wiki.
listed.
Because the
Oh,
wiki
because
is.
the Because she never uses them. But that doesn't mean she doesn't have them.
But it
We know that,
means
like,
we
wait,
don't
wait.
have information on them, which is what I've been getting at this whole fucking time.
Wait. But we have other mages that aren't Karen, as an
Yes, sure,
example.
we have a square mage, Colbert or whatever his fucking name is. He's a square fire mage. He uses fire. What else does he use? More fucking fire.
I'm pretty sure, though, these characters have one affinity that they're stronger with than the other
He's
affinity.
known as the fire snake. Do you know what he does? He creates giant fire snakes.
Do we never see Colbert use more than fire?
Not that I can remember.
I watched like 5 episodes 10 years ago. I don't know.
It was a long time ago for me, too, so I'm lost.
And the only time we have any information is with Tabitha, who is explained to be using ice spells by combining a dot of wind and a dot of water.
So making a line.
Yeah, making a line.
But why is Kirchi considered a triangle mage or whatever of fire, if she only ever uses fire?
Maybe she doesn't want to use anything else. Do you consider
Maybe she
that?
doesn't
But why
want
would she
to.
be considered a triangle mage then, if all she uses
Because
is
she
one
can.
dot of fire?
It's called specialization, Sneaky. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, that you wouldn't be considered.
Karen,
You
wait,
wouldn't be
Karen is
considered.
like-
Yes.
Karen is called
Sneaky.
Karen the Heavy Wind. Colbert is called
Sneaky.
the fucking Fire Snake or whatever.
Yes.
If you have a
Maybe-
PhD
maybe-
in medicine and a bachelor's in IT, that doesn't mean you don't have a degree in IT.
Actually, you couldn't get
Right.
a PhD in medicine if you have a bachelor's in IT. So, yeah,
Right,
actually, it
maybe.
does mean you don't have a bachelor's
you
in
can.
IT.
I don't fucking know what you're on about. But okay.
Listen,
You can
I have my
specialize in
PhD.
different things from what you use.
I have my PhD in gender studies, and then I have my bachelor's in lesbian dance theory. That
course you
doesn't
do.
mean I don't have my bachelor's in lesbian dance theory.
Okay, so it seems the light novel had a single instance of explaining this.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Okay, we're
In
about to hit this.
Volume 4,
Mhm.
by the way.
Oh, wow, that took a while. Yeah. So it's almost like my point is being validated as we speak, in that Familiar of Zero
No.
rarely, if ever, goes into any detail about how anything
Okay, yeah,
works.
that's fair. Wow.
That
yeah, makes
isn't
sense.
the issue. The issue
That
what the
is
problem
the
here.
issue. That's what I've been fucking saying for the past 30
Okay, but
minutes.
that's not what you. Okay, but we disagreed about the lore, so we had to go into that because for whatever reason we're a bunch of fucking nerds who need to like fight
Fucking
about
retards,
lore.
a lot of us.
Yes.
Listen, man, I just want to know if a dot means like I'm gonna stack
One
a dot of wind with a
element.
dot of wind or not. That's all I want to know.
Okay,
Sneaky's
speak.
over here arguing one thing, you guys are arguing another. I'm
Also,
just
Underplay
confused.
Creations fucking agrees with me. Fuck you guys.
Fuck underplay creation.
Yeah,
I give a fuck.
probably gay. Probably black too, I don't know.
Like, this is kind of like really infuriating. Why did it take until volume 4 for this to be explained?
Because it's not important.
Japan.
This
It's,
is
it's
very
not,
much the
it's not
Naruto.
actually relevant
We
to
don't
the story.
get an explanation of like the the nations.
I guess it
until,
technically
like-
isn't important because the primary focus, as far as magic goes, is what are the void mages, basically.
Yeah, literally, the entire premise of the story is Luisa's journey, a character journey, Saito's character journey, Luis having void powers, other people having void powers, and what that means for the world. That's the premise
Apparently-
of the story.
Apparently, she picks up wind in volume 22 at some point.
Oh, volume 22! Wow!
Wait, wasn't that the last volume?
Yes.
Like,
22,
Wow,
23,
excellent.
something like that, yeah.
The lady's like on her deathbed. She's like, but I want to get in there. That she
Uh,
uses wind at some point.
I think the author actually was someone who did leave enough notes around. It's like, listen, this is how it should end. Just, I don't know, bullshit something to get here.
Angrily types on a keyboard.
Indeed.
Yeah, 22
Right.
volumes plus a side story.
Can we stop autisming and go back to bullying fucking Stannis with this shit crossover?
Do we have to though?
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
So anyway, now that the author's done butchering tensing, we're gonna keep going. We were all young men once before. Wow, sexist. You, Gabriel Van
Bigot.
Helsing, my good friend Vlad Tepes, and myself, Lucian of Romania, a simple low-born knight. We shared such incredible adventures as we served the Holy Order of Knights in our fight against the forces of evil. We traveled far across Europe, from exotic Constantinople to beautiful France. I can tell this author's already a heretic.
Wait a second.
Belongs on the fucking cross.
Yes, go ahead.
When did France start becoming called like France?
Probably around the time the
Um,
French started calling it France.
Yeah, the
Yeah, when did they
Franks.
start to
So about the 800s, 900s. Roughly post
Okay,
Charlemagne.
fine.
Yeah, it's not that big for Rome.
All
Why?
right. I was just gonna get annoyed. It may be possible.
Yeah, well,
It just feels weird sometimes when people say certain things.
I mean, yeah, it's 200 years in between the fall of Constantinople and France being called France.
no. No.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
No,
Constantinople fell in 1453.
Wait, what the fuck?
That's
Seriously?
500 years after. You fucking moron.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's literally. How
Why
did you
I
not
think
know?
It was 600s.
Because you're retarded.
Yeah, probably.
It's the whole like the Western Roman Empire didn't fall, or the Eastern didn't fall for another 1,000 years.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
literally
Yeah, they're
that
called the
reason.
Byzantine Empire.
Almost.
Right, yes.
980 years. Roughly.
Anyway. Gabriel Van Helsing. My friend Vlad found love, and that love ripped from him. I did not abandon him as our fellows did, as you did. I helped my friend, and against the will of God, and against our order, and against what was good, I helped him try and bring back the woman he loved to the living. Where's that fucking intro to Full Metal Alchemist? What are the lines?
Uh-oh.
I knew it was wrong. It was blasphemous to even consider playing with such hellish magic. But for my dear friend, my mentor, for the loyalty and trust he had placed in me, how could I not return it in kind? I'm actually completely lost. Like, I'm not even memeing at this point. I'm actually completely fucking lost into what's happening anymore. I can't even tell who's telling us this narrative anymore. Who are we being told
What
the narrative?
tense we're
Is
in?
another character being told the narrative?
This appears to be Lucian just blasting Gabriel, and all I can think is, I don't know, man. You let a good friend of yours play with dark magic. Probably doomed his soul to hell.
Definitely doomed his soul to hell.
Like,
100% chance.
I don't think I'd be throwing shade if I was in your position. I'm gonna be real.
Whoops.
Yeah, but like the thing is though, is the author started this flashback here with I guess Gabriel telling the narrative.
I think it's Lucian.
No,
It's in the second paragraph.
Right up to here.
Myself.
This is Gabriel, and then from here on out, it's all Lucian. Because then Gabriel starts talking about his tormentor told me in his amusement that you lost your memories, saying that Lucian is saying to Gabriel that he lost his memories.
Why do you think Gabriel's the one saying this first sentence? Was there something I missed in the author notes?
What do you mean? Why do I think Gabriel's the one saying the first sentence?
Is that not what you said? That Gabriel's...
Yeah, Gabriel's the first sentence. I'm saying it's because he says, you here, my tormentor told me of his amusement in that you have lost your memories, and then goes on the next paragraph to then say you, but then refer to Gabriel von Helsing. and then says, my good friend Vlad Tepes and myself, Lucian of Romea, which means Lucian, by the nature of English, is the tormentor of Gabriel.
Why do you think?
Oh, wait, hang on.
Okay, I need you in your current buzzed state to explain why you think Gabriel's the one talking when the second paragraph it makes very clear that this appears to be a letter of some sort from Lucian.
No, this is not a letter. This is right here. My tormentor told me. Everything past this point is being narrated to Gabriel. As far as I can tell.
Weird.
Fuck.
This shit is so bad. We're stuck on the opening fucking paragraph trying to figure out who's talking to who.
No, I'm
Who
pretty
cares?
sure. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm with
Lucian
Max on this one.
this entire time.
I'm fairly sure this
Atin,
is
but
a
thank
letter.
you.
This can't be a letter.
The retards, whoever the fuck.
No, it literally
Why can't
says
it not be a
told
letter?
me, because it literally says told me. At no point in time does it say letter. It says told me.
Oh my fucking... Try reading between the lines for once, Sneaky.
No!
Well,
No,
go
I
fuck yourself then.
refuse. I refuse because...
Okay, Sneaky.
Eat
Sneaky,
your own
if you're
ass.
gonna shift your goalposts.
No, I would agree with you if the author hadn't explicitly said the paragraph before, my tormentor told me.
And you could still write that in a fucking
Yeah, that could
letter.
still. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if it's a letter because we haven't read all the way through this.
Anyway, so
But
blah,
this
blah,
definitely
blah,
seems
garbage,
like-
garbage ass
Seems
garbage.
lettery.
Blah, 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 monster in skin, God himself, punishment, death by the order, vampire king, Count Dracula, bite of werewolf, I've been cursed to be a werewolf, I'm an anti-vampire creature, cliffside, I'm being impaled by iron spikes, Count Dracula, devil himself, blah, 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 Vlad died, you killed him, Gabriel, you did your duty well. My friend died and a demon took his place due to the magic. Do you know what it's like to be trapped in hell? Blah, blah, blah. Fighting constantly. Monster and man. Blah, blah, blah. Suffering. No salvation. Damnation. Blah, blah, blah. When I heard you were in Transylvania as a hunter by the name of Van Helsing, I tried hold on to my hope that maybe you could save me and kill me too. Blah, 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 blah. I see you, I smell you, I feel my curse upon you. This will not be as powerful, blah, blah, if I've been the one to bite you, but strong enough that you could possibly stand against Dracula's power. But please, I beg you, heed my warning, Gabriel. The first time man becomes beast, you will face more than a vampire lord in the keep. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Do not fight the monster you have become. Accept the monster. You are him and he is you. That's the only way you can kill the vampire that is called Count Dracula. Blah, 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 blah. Dracula's experiments growing. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever his plot, it's nearing its end. Go, my friend. You have always done this. Courage not to do. Save him. Remember, the wolf is nothing without man.
Moto.
There is nothing here about being letter. Fucking time skip after this.
Okay,
This
but
is so
either
weird.
way, I am 99% certain it is Lucian
Yeah.
talking that entire time.
Narrating.
Yeah, well, the
True.
author didn't make that fucking clear.
And I already said I wasn't sure if it's a letter.
Yeah,
I
it's
already
definitely a
considered
third-person
that.
narration.
Listen,
It's
all I have to say.
somebody is
A
narrating
narration
here.
too.
Somebody is narrating here, but everything but this first paragraph has been a consistent perspective of
Okay.
narration. But everything, this first fucking paragraph changes the point of view narration so many fucking times. It's like 4 fucking times.
It
No?
doesn't.
Not really, no.
It doesn't.
It
At
doesn't
all.
actually.
There's nothing to imply as such.
Yeah.
Then
I
who's he
think
talking
you
to?
might- Sneaky, for all I know, he's probably talking to Gabriel in his head as he's monologuing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Besides,
Yes.
I know you talk to yourself. We've had the discussion that sometimes you and I just only talk to ourselves.
Yeah,
That's also
true.
a very
Oh, that's not
common thing.
surprising.
It's oh god, what genre is it? Nor I haven't touched that genre in so long.
Protagonist.
That's also a weird. That's a weird narration style you see in older stuff as well, in published works.
Well, it has utterly
Like
lost me.
epistolaries? epistolary is like a story told only through letters, right?
That's one way.
Yeah.
I don't think this is told only through letters,
This
though.
is not,
No,
it's not being
it's-
told.
No,
It's
I don't
like
think so either. But like,
Concept, base concept is there. Of like
Still,
being
I
told
think it
to
was a
someone.
terrible way to open it up. I think this is.
I mean, no one
Oh,
was,
you're-
no one was
you're-
disputing that.
Honestly, I'm with you on that. That's
No one was disputing that.
you
That's
got to be better
fine.
at hooking people in if you're going to start with that kind of narration. You're not wrong.
No
about
one
it
here is
being a
gonna
bad way
argue
to
that
start.
one with you.
Because I'm
Yeah.
just absolutely fucking completely lost on this as to why this is relevant at all and at what point in time this is taking place. Like, because earlier he said everything in italics is flashback monologuing. What is this a flashback of? When is this a flashback of?
Flashback slash monologuing.
Like, he's talking about being caged up and like all that fucking stuff.
Oh, yeah,
but then
actually.
it flashes forward to
Wait.
Thought
this.
slash flashback monologuing. It doesn't necessarily have to be a flashback. It's a thought monologue.
Right. So anyway,
yeah.
the point
A
being is that we
flashback
don't know what the
monologue.
fucking perspective is.
Fuck if I know.
I just realized,
Hmm.
is that supposed to be like a slash for between flashback and monologuing? Because if not, that is a writing technique I've never heard of as flashback monologue.
fair.
Naruto made heavy use of it. Don't you remember that one time when we were kids and we were fighting down by the river, and then that time reminded you of the other time that we were other kids and that we were not by the river?
Remember when we flashbacked in a flashback and a flashback? I was so upset when that happened.
Shoot myself. Well, now that we've
I was
solved this
so
flashback,
upset.
we can go to the other flashback inside the flashback, solve that flashback, then we can get back to the other flashback, and then once we jolt ourselves from the original flashback, we'll be back in the real world.
Cease, please.
I will
story-
call
Listen,
the
man,
movie Inception.
Kishimoto was on some next level shit, alright?
The movie will be called Inception. You'll be able to catch it in theaters. It was like the earth was tearing itself apart, so great was the shaking of the castle walls. Stone and masonry fell from the walls and ceilings. Add sections of flooring gave way around him as he ran. Lucian, that's not a sentence. Former knight of the Holy Order. First of the werewolves and prisoner of Castle Dracula, had been surprised when the shade of his comrade Van Helsing suddenly arrived at his cell to release him.
Why is this so crazy?
Okay. The hunter had warned him, run as far from the place as he could and do not give him cause to hunt another werewolf. Wait, the ghost is hunting werewolf? Wait, what the fuck? Hold on.
Wait, hold on a minute. No, ghost hunting a werewolf hunting ghost vampire slayer? That sounds way more interesting than whatever this is.
That sounds like something we need to get on.
Yeah, I would actually kind of like to watch a show about a werewolf that's hunting a vampire who's being hunted. A ghost that's hunting a werewolf that's hunting a vampire that had previously hunted who the ghost was. Brain.
Okay, yeah. Sure.
It's a vampire werewolf hunting ghost hunter, and then the Ghostbusters show up.
Potatoes, thank you. Yeah, it was film noir. That's what I was thinking of for that original narration style.
Right, yeah.
That's what it reminded me of.
Except,
putting that lens.
more poorly executed than most film noir.
Well, I mean, it's a fan fiction. What do you expect?
Yeah, I think the main
Level of legibility, really?
No, this is completely
No.
legible. The problem here is that the author just didn't set it up correctly. Like, if they had done it the film noir style, typically what the film noir style is, you have the setting, being like zoomed in on or something like that, like as the guy's narrating what's going on, what's going on in his head or something. It's been 20 years since I've taken the last case. Blah blah blah,
Yeah.
whatever.
He might have been trying to emulate Sin City specifically.
But as he's getting that, like, as you're getting the visual though, as this narration is going on, and if you wanted to try and emulate that specifically in writing, it probably would have been better to have started it off with not just a flashback, pure flashback narration, whatever the fuck this was supposed to be. But if he had slipped in the statements, like, I sat there, hanging from my cell walls. Do you know how long has it been since I've seen the warmth of the sun? If he had set up the setting in between each block of noir narration.
Yeah. In just, counterpoint, film noir doesn't work unless there's a visual medium. I'm not talking just setting the scene with words.
Yeah,
I mean, it works great in comics. It works fantastic in film. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
In just words, the only time that really works is if you're poking fun at film noir.
Yes.
Because then you can have them be like, oh god, he's talking to himself again. Fuck, someone shut him up.
I would say the closest you get to it being executed successfully is the likes of, like, Hercule Poirot.
What?
Film.
Yeah, the French guy.
Yeah, French guy.
Oh, that explains why I don't know him.
Did French things.
Face.
Disgusting, really.
Why I don't know.
But no, like I said, I didn't say perfectly emulate it, Max. I just said it would be better if he set up the scene as he was narrating it, because I'm just utterly, completely lost and disinterested. Maybe if I knew more about Van Helsing, I'd be somewhat possibly interested in what the fuck's going on over here. But I also, on the counterpoint here, I also might be completely disgusted by the fact that the OC is apparently the first werewolf to ever exist or something, according to this narration.
Is Lucian an OC? Because I actually don't know much of anything about what this crossover is.
Well, the author says it's a werewolf OC, and the narration is coming from Lucian, described as the first werewolf.
Okay.
So I can only assume that, yeah, he's an OC.
My eyes are rolling up into my fucking skull.
So excellent. Yeah, literally, that's like fucking naming your OC Kane and being like, yeah, he was the first guy who ever committed murder, and so he's actually immortal because of it. And anyone he attacks dies permanently, regardless of what else they have going for them.
Oh, so we're just talking about SCPs now.
Actually, I was talking about Supernatural.
Same thing, really.
It kind of is.
Supernatural is considerably worse.
Yeah, but have you heard of the Leviathans?
I'll take your word for it.
Have I heard of what?
The Leviathans.
The SCP for the fucking Leviathan, or are you talking about? I don't know.
I'm talking about Supernatural. So yeah, anyway, first of the werewolves, the ghost released him from his cell and said, "Don't make me hunt you down and kill you." I don't know. Would you guys be threatened by a ghost?
No.
Well, here's the thing. The ghost is opening my cell door.
That's fair enough.
Which means it's definitely interacting with the physical world.
Yeah.
So if it then goes, "Don't make me find you," I'd be like, you know what? Yes, sir, ghost.
Yeah, that's fair enough. You know what? I'll give you that.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's physically interacting, I want nothing to do with it.
And it's not just like physical force. I mean, like, unlocking a door is not easy. Like, it does take.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, you're right. It's not just physical force.
Manipulation of like finer muscle control compared to just like brute force, like slamming into something.
Well, no. Here's the thing, right? Either way, the ghost. Oh, right. If the ghost rips the door off the hinges, I'll be like, I'm listening to that ghost. And if the ghost picks up the key, puts it in the lock, and turns it, I'll be like, what do I have to do to get you to never come near me again?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway, so the ghost let him go.
Come on, my property, more ghost.
Lucian had not expected it.
Here's the thing. On the other hand, at least if that ghost is capable of fine manipulation, you can be like, what'll it cost to get you to delete my browser history?
Van Helsing's fire friend cautioned against it, releasing such an old, potent, powerful monster in the world. Heartfelt words reach them both. Wait, what the fuck? Muted sense of relief, satisfaction, shrieks and howls of the transformed Gabriel fighting Dracula.
What?
Wait, hold on. Wait. So, the shade of his comrade Van Helsing released him from the cell, and Lucian was surprised that Gabriel would release him from the cell, because normally he would have just killed him. But as he started to run away, he had a sense of relief as he heard the now transformed Gabriel fighting Dracula. I guess that's referring to earlier when apparently Lucian had bitten Gabriel to turn him into a werewolf to fight Dracula, but then got caught by Dracula. And wait,
if Lucian was the first werewolf, does that mean it's also the first furry?
yes.
Excellent. Destroy him immediately.
Okay, so the timeline goes something like the three amigos, and then Vlad falls in love with someone, and then they die, and then Gabriel goes, okay, give it up, she's dead, and then Vlad and Lucian go, no, fuck that shit, we're gonna go make a deal with the devil. They do that. Vlad becomes Count Dracula, and Lucian becomes the first werewolf who is capable of killing Count Dracula. And then Lucian encounters Gabriel once again, biting him to give him the power to kill Count Dracula. But then, during Gabriel's quest to go kill Count Dracula, apparently Lucian gets captured by Count Dracula for a very long time and tortured, because apparently he's forgotten what the sun looks like. So this time scale is really weird. And then the ghost of Gabriel lets Lucian free, but then transforms into a werewolf to fight Count Dracula.
Bro,
I don't know what's going on, because is this supposed to be a movie series for Van Helsing? Like, there's so much shit with the Van Helsing name on it. I don't
that's true as well,
know where I should be researching these events for.
I think these are OC events. Because
It has to be, dude.
He did list it as OC. So.
Unfortunate.
So he used the distraction to run deeper into Count Dracula's castle. Blah 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 blah. No time to rip away the rags. He had been he'd been in this cell for 400 years.
Okay.
How does he know that?
He just does.
He looked at the clock.
How do you tell? How do you tell time like that?
He looked at the clock.
Yeah. All right. So I think I tracked down the correct wiki for this.
Okay.
And apparently this version of Gabriel Van Helsing has monster hunter powers, apparently that's a thing, archangel powers, and werewolf powers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he got his werewolf powers from a werewolf named Velkin.
Not Lucian.
Not Lucian.
Okay, so that's the OC then, at least we've confirmed the OC.
Yeah.
I'm still really confused by the fact that Lucian apparently gave Gabriel werewolf powers, but was also trapped inside Count Dracula's castle for 400 years.
Yeah, how did he live? First off,
he's the first werewolf. Obviously, being the first werewolf means you're immortal.
When did he give him the power then?
He apparently in a flashback.
It must have been as soon as he got there. Because 400, like, it just seems, I don't know, this timeline makes my head hurt.
Yeah, I'm actually getting a headache from trying to figure this out.
I stopped trying.
Anyway, so they're escaping from the castle, and he looted a whole bunch of shit. It took only a few minutes for the werewolf to get out of the castle. Whatever magic fueled the castle Dracula was breaking. Blah blah blah, resolve, blah blah blah. He threw himself into a random portal that appeared in front of him. And
As you just do, right?
yeah. And on the other side of the doorway, in a matching mirror deep within Transylvania at Valorius Castle, nothing emerged. Van Helsing, his close friend Friar Carl, and newfound friend in Frankenstein's monster, and realized love interest Anna Valorius only watched as the mirror shifted back into a large detailed map of the country, and Lucian was never seen again. Huh?
Yeah, again, my head hurts.
I would like this to stop.
So we didn't actually get any Song of Ice and Fire at all. And I'm
So
kind of
presumably that's in chapter 2, I
yeah,
guess.
presumably that's in chapter 2. I'm really glad that we didn't get the Song of Ice and Fire though.
Yeah, chapter 2 is titled A Wolf in Westeros, so
Yeah,
there you go.
I'm not really interested in reading how this author's gonna fuck up that. We can if you guys want.
I'm good, dog.
Yeah, no thanks.
You sure?
I've got like 15 minutes before I have to go, so.
Excellent. So until you have to go, we'll be reading A Man of Iron.
Why are you doing this to me?
Because you're never on, so I have to do it all at the same time.
Yeah, he's got to get.
Get away with this!
So this is a Iron Man Song of Ice and Fire crossover called A Man of Iron. Very original. And Tony Stark is the arrogant cousin of Ned Stark who made his fortune crafting weapons for the lords of Westeros. He leads a joyful life, doing whatever he pleases, and leaves the politics to others. But when a violent attack nearly ends his life, Tony decides he's going to take action and create a superhero for people to rally around, a knight known as the Iron Man, Book 1 of A Song of Metal and Marvel.
I hate this.
I
A
wish.
Song of Metal and Marvel.
So this is a series. This is a full series. By the way, this story is completed, which means he's working on, at minimum, part 2.
Oh, no.
So this series is a entire fusion world in where all of Marvel is rewritten to be in Song of Ice and Fire with appropriately themed time. Which means Tony Stark's not shooting missiles, he's forging swords in mass quantities or something. I'm really
He discovered how to make a clay mold for swords.
well, that's been known forever, and they make really garbage swords.
Wow.
Yes, Sneaky, that's
Who
my
could
joke.
have thought? What a twist.
But I'm really confused here because like a mass weapons merchant really wasn't a thing back in the day.
Unless you could invent some way to like semi-industrialize the process of forging weapons.
You really
Or
couldn't
certain
though.
types of weapons.
Like even now, you really can't mass produce swords that are actually of
Maybe
quality.
not swords, but like I think there are weapons you could maybe mass produce.
Like maybe like a mace or something.
Yeah, I was thinking like maces and shit. You could probably like semi-industrialize.
I mean, yeah, you could
The
probably
mace industry.
like cast mold maces. But like that's a massive waste of metal.
Yeah, resulting in rather
thing
low
is,
quality maces as well.
I've worked it out. Westeros is sitting on the largest
yes.
iron mine in the fucking
You've
world.
already told us about this. Where apparently, like, the entirety of Westeros is actually an iron mine.
It is, in fact, literally everywhere. Fucking the Ironborn go around in full plate armor on their fucking longboat, on their longships.
Hmm.
They
Yeah.
are raiders, and they
Yeah.
go around in full plate armor.
Yeah. I know.
And also, it's part of like their cultural thing that like drowning isn't like a bad thing for them. So they embrace the whole idea of like, if I drown, I drown.
Okay.
But yeah, I really don't like this just general premise of rewriting one series as another series. I think it's a pretty stupid premise, just entirely. It really doesn't
Retarded.
add anything to anything. I've never asked the question of what if Marvel was written entirely like Song of Ice and Fire, specifically because I couldn't give a shit. And it really doesn't change anything.
I agree. The way to do this, if you want a fucking Marvel crossover, is to have like the actual Tony Stark show up in Westeros.
Like, fucking hell, like, Tony Stark gets hit by the isekai truck, shows up in Westeros, and goes on an inventing spree. Like, yeah, fine. That would be at least interesting. But no, it's like...
Science.
It's like literally
Dr. Stone
everyone
Westeros
is already
edition.
in Westeros. Like, all of the Marvel characters have always been in Westeros, and it's basically a completely different world now. Like...
Yeah, you're doing a fusion. You're doing a fusion. And fusions are generally bad. That's just the rule. They
More or less.
almost always are fucking awful. There is like one fic that I know of personally that is... Someone turn your fucking Motorola phone off. There's one fic I know of that is a good fusion fic.
Is that Saltbreaker?
No. It's and that I don't even class that really as a fusion fic.
Fair enough.
It's called Viral. It's like a Marvel and what is that called? Prototype crossover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
really
no.
good.
But see,
really
that
good.
works though because they're both high fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, like essentially, yeah. Well, it's high sci-fi, high fantasy. I get what you mean.
High sci-fi is effectively high fantasy. You're just calling it sci-fi.
I know.
Yeah, as they say.
I would say, yeah,
Definitely
like,
advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic.
or you're just a Jedi and you actually use magic and refuse to admit it.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
but my
too.
point is like fusing, Marvel and for example, Song of Ice and Fire makes no fucking sense because Marvel is high fantasy. Everyone in Marvel has ridiculous superpowers that only work because everyone else also has ridiculous superpowers. But
Exactly.
Oh, what's
Maybe you
this?
can
This
take-
is literally Thor. Oh, what's this guy? Oh, this guy can phase through walls and himself and is super strong and flies. Oh, what can she do? Oh, that's a witch with the literal power of creation. But it's cool. The Sorcerer Supreme can 1v1 her.
yeah.
Basically this, yeah.
But then you put them into low fantasy Song of Ice and Fire where it's like it's really impressive when someone's sword catches on fire. It's like, yeah, bro. Yeah, he could shoot lightning out of his eyes. It's like...
Yeah, and the thing is that like a Song of Ice and Fire, like the magic we've seen are like the shadow babies are probably the biggest one, which is like the shadow that comes and kills Renly. That's still just like a thing that stabs someone.
Yeah.
It's not like a fucking like, yeah, demon baby. Though it may be, it just stabbed him. It didn't like make
rip his
like
soul
fucking
out or
clones
something.
of itself.
Yeah.
Or,
Well, no, I was gonna say
it
the
didn't-
most impressive, the closest we get to high fantasy would probably be
well, the others.
what's her face literally resurrecting people.
Oh, Mel. Yeah. The resurrection thing though, like he even has like rules for it. So like there's a character, Beric Dondarrion, right?
Yeah.
No, I
People
know
have
she
it
has
listed.
rules, but like, okay, but like here's the thing, right? Like D&D has rules for resurrection too. That doesn't stop it from being high fantasy
I'm saying,
because
no,
it's
specifically-
that person is unequivocally dead.
Wait.
They
My
are not.
point is that like Wait. My point is that like Marvel revival and fucking A Song of Ice and Fire revival are two very different things. Marvel's revivals tend to not actually have consequences.
That's
Right.
true. That's true. Yeah.
No reason.
Or if it does have
It's so
consequences,
rare in
it's typically mitigated within, soon.
Yes. When it comes to Song of Ice and Fire, two characters we've known of so far have been able to revive someone. Out of the fucking 500 million characters George has come up with, right? Two characters have been able to revive people. And, well, actually, one character. The second character happened in the show, and we don't actually know that happens, technically.
Right. But leaving right. I'm not saying the circumstances around it aren't low fantasy, but like.
Well, also,
actual...
you're not using proper definitions here. So low fantasy specifically refers to how low and high refers to how much non-human stuff is going on in the world, as in terms of the power and stuff like that. So you can have a low fantasy D&D game in where, yeah, like the most that people can do is, cast a heal spell and maybe resurrect if you're really powerful, but there's like only one person in the country that can do it.
Like the strongest
that can still be low fantasy
or something like that. Like the strongest people can do stuff like that, where most of the time it's like more like within magic stuff, or like there's ways
it's like,
of doing.
What? How strong a wizard are you? I've got 5 cantrips.
Yeah, effectively.
Yeah. And Song of Ice and Fire is kind of like that, because like the people who can do magic, it's not that magic is like held by a certain class of people. It's that like if you can do magic, most of the magic is like glamours and stuff, like stuff that's like hiding or deception or like not actually.
It's why Lord of the Rings is considered low fantasy. It's because the amount of magic that's actually used in Lord of the Rings is actually very minimal.
Yeah, it feels high fantasy, but that's because of how the author wrote it.
Right, exactly.
That's the only reason it feels high fantasy. In reality, it is mostly low fantasy. I mean, once you get to like the Balrog, it's a little bit more,
but even then, that's like kind of passed off as like a super rare incident that effectively never happens.
And also, it's treated as like more than just like most people. It's not even like something that like, how would I put this? It's more a thing of like mythology almost.
I would just say that's the thing. Lord of the Rings remains low fantasy because there are a grand total of like 5 wizards. Granted, those wizards can do some shit.
Right.
But like the Balrog is literally a creature of myth, of which there is 1 left, maybe 2. I would say, and the other thing about low fantasy can also define you can also be used to define the highest tier of fantasy stuff that right. The One Ring is one of the most powerful rings in all existence, and what does it do? It makes you invisible.
Yeah, more or less.
Like I could have a D&D game that is still low fantasy, but like there are no spells above 3rd level, and sure, everybody can get a fire sword, but you're not getting a Vorpal sword.
Now, I would actually, speaking of D&D, because now you've given me this idea, I would actually like to see a D&D campaign where the DM gives the party, like in the first session, the party finds this cursed ring of invisibility. And, like, you have to succeed a dexterity save to take the ring off, but when you put it on, you're effectively invisible. And then, like, very slowly over the entire campaign, depending on, obviously how many times they use this ring of invisibility, have, like, revenants coming after them. And just, like, never really tell them why, just they are. And so most D&D parties
treat it as a random encounter. Treat it as a random encounter, though. You don't tell them. Act like your roll, and it actually is how many revenants it is.
Right, exactly.
But they think you're rolling for a random encounter, and that's the way you do it.
And
you gotta like obfuscate
just generally
this shit.
keep it going for as long as possible until people start catching on.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
Guys, I think there's something funky up with this here ring.
Oh, wait. And then, like, you get to a town, and there's a beautiful maiden, and she's swarming after this guy who's the ranger, right? And it keeps going. She really likes him, you know? And she's really into him. Oh, and the... Like, it's pre-made characters, so, like, the dwarf has a real problem with the elf, and then, like, you have them roll as time goes on to see how much they like each other as time goes on. Dude, it's perfect. Perfect.
I see. I honestly, I would just like to how much Lord of the Rings things can you just slip into your D&D campaign before people realize what you're doing?
Oh man, I'll be like,
say,
look. Why don't you look with your elf senses, like to one of the party members?
Well, no, so like that could even not give it away because elves actually have low light vision. Well, in 3.5, you know, everyone.
No, they maintain it through.
Yeah, but in 5e, everyone has fucking low light vision.
Yeah,
literally
I was gonna
everyone.
say.
But in 3.5, elves have low light vision as lots of other people don't. So you could actually, as a DM, just casually say in certain scenarios, tell the party what your elf eyes see if they roll well on a perception check. You could
Fair.
No, and everyone would just think you're memeing. They wouldn't even get it.
Dude, that should be hilarious.
Oh
yeah, in my world, the dwarves, they're kind of lost people in certain ways. You know, they hold grudges too long. Just keep on describing like different dwarf stories from fucking Tolkien.
Oh god. Anyway, so yeah, we're just gonna accelerate through this.
Speed.
Yeah, blah blah blah, Ironborn, blah blah blah. Who was dead? Someone was dead. John was dead. Okay. Wow. I guess we're okay. John's dead.
Not that John, the other John.
Yeah, the other
one
John.
that starts the story dying.
Yeah. King Robert rode to Winterfell, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Ned hide his feelings, blah blah blah. This all sounds like canon as far as I'm aware.
Just rehash canon. I love that.
Yeah, it looks like a really long rehash of canon. Oh, here we go. Here's our first non-canon instance. What's wrong, Ned? What has delayed the king? No, it's not the king. It's from Tony. He's coming to Winterfell. Oh no. Tony's coming to Winterfell now. We have to let him know he shouldn't. The king's coming. The king is the reason why he is coming. He wishes to speak to the king. Of course. Never mind that we will be entertaining the king. Does this arrogant man ever think about other people? Ha ha ha, wow, author, you're so clever and witty. Oh wow.
Damn, bro. You got the whole squad laughing.
Wow, yeah, just fucking busting guts here, man. Blah blah blah. I hate Tony. Everyone hates Tony. Everyone agrees that they hate Tony because he's an arrogant braggart. Blah blah blah. Castle Rock Tony. Wow. Renamed Iron Point. Wow. Lords of the Reach. Blah blah blah. Iron Point. Everyone in the entire fucking Westeros goes to Iron Point to get swords and shields made. By Tony Stark. Everyone.
Does Tony like... Okay, so is it like a premium service?
Yeah,
or like
apparently.
Tony is making... Okay, so I guess that's okay.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah.
It's better because at least it's like more... like the problem with like industrializing that type of shit is that like...
Oh no, he also has a shit ton of smiths working for him to churn out Tony Stark brand swords and shields. I wish I was joking.
Tony Stark brand fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but the lords, every single lord in existence goes to Tony Stark to get their personal sword and shield made by him.
Okay,
And,
I mean, I guess, whatever.
Everyone had to admit that his creations were beautiful, and the massive iron mines of Iron Point produced so many metals that they could make creative colorings for their metals.
What?
Yeah.
What do they mean?
Yeah. You know, just make, you know, to make your metal a different color by, you know, just putting other color in it.
Just add some food dye to the metal.
Yes.
I just imagine like the Japanese, like I've seen a couple of the like actual katana makers is like making it, and he's like
Just
it's
yeah,
like a little
just throw
container
some, just
of
throw
food
some,
dye, like
yeah.
squirting it in there.
Yeah.
This is going to be a yellow katana.
That's how they do it in Demon Souls, don't you know? It's not Demon Souls. Fucking fucking what's that?
Demon
Dark
Slayer.
Souls
Demon Slayer. Yeah, there we
with
go.
the colored shards.
The
yeah,
Demon Slayer. With the
I
colored
hated
sword.
those shards so much. I'm so glad they got rid of those.
I think he's talking about Demon Slayer, not
Yeah,
the
I'm
anime.
talking about the
right?
anime, Max, the Demon Slayer anime, where they have colored
Yeah.
katanas.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
you get
that-
the yellow katana. It goes with your yellow uniform and yellow hair and yellow powers. Wow, that's very coincidental that all of your things are yellow. It's like, okay, buddy. Oh, what kind of powers does he have? Well, considering the fact that he's wearing blue, I would say something around water. How do you know it's water? Well, he's wearing robes that are blue with waves on them, and sandals that are blue with waves on them, and his hair is blue and wavy. So I can only assume that his eyes are also, yup, they're blue. His eyes are also blue, and his special power, blue, and it looks like water.
Color theory really has gone wild, eh?
Fucking no, look, man, the cast of Demon Slayers is absolutely more fitting to Ruby than the Ruby cast are.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, so apparently the massive variety of metals that the immense mines of Iron Point produce allows Tony Stark to personally color the sigil into the shield without needing paint.
That's just impressive.
That's fucking retarded. Holy shit.
That is that's blatantly different metal types. Like, that's gonna cause major fucking fracture points.
I mean, it depends how deep. If it's just like on the surface, you know, with gold, like that's usually done on jewelry. If it's like similar process to that, but where the fuck would you get the equipment to do that kind of shit? That kind of precision work in fucking medieval fantasy.
Not even medieval fantasy. We're talking like dark, like beyond Dark Age levels of technology here. Like, they don't even know what a water wheel is, dude.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
I think they do have
They
water
wouldn't
wheels.
fucking know electroplating. That's for sure. They don't have electricity, so they wouldn't know electroplating.
No, they don't have that, obviously. They do have water wheels. I'm almost certain of that.
You sure?
I'm like 90%.
Because I've read several Song of Ice and Fire stories that were fairly decent, in my opinion, that have specifically talked about how Song of Ice and Fire didn't have water wheels.
Yeah, because water wheels are a pre-Roman invention. So
that sounds like a fucking SI uplift tech people thing where they don't actually know what the fuck
some
is in the
autistic
story.
people on Space Battles. I will give you that.
So listen,
yeah.
I'm almost certain there are water wheels in a Song of Ice and Fire. I can look it up.
I believe you. So anyway, oh no, yeah. So know how we were talking about how maybe it was just on the surface? Tony created spears of blue and black, and arrowheads of emeralds.
Why?
Smiths in King Landing and other cities attempted to mimic his work, but they all failed to achieve the wonder of his creations. Thus, his fame and wealth were immense.
Fucking Christ.
Tony was able to select his customers, no longer needing to take on any work in order to procure gold dragons. Kat had heard of him turning down many offers from many houses because the project they wished him to work on did not challenge him enough. If that was the extent of his ego, then all would be well. But Tony was also arrogant and vain. He was arrogant and vain in the fact that he was the only smith in the entire world that could produce the weapons and armor that he could produce.
Damn, bro.
Hey, author. That's actually
Okay, yeah,
something to
there
be
are-
arrogant and vain about. Like,
There are mills in A Song of Ice and Fire.
Oh, wow. Damn.
you can have donkey
So
mills.
did the ancient Greeks have?
Yeah,
Bro.
you can have donkey mills.
Donkey.
Well, there's water mills specifically.
Okay, there you go. But like, yeah, how
Let me
arrogant
actually
and
look that
vain
up.
is this person who is the only person
look
in
it
the
up, okay?
entire world that is capable of doing this one thing? It's like, not very
I mean,
arrogant.
okay, so
Ancient war mills, yeah. Classical antiquity, Hellenistic beginnings through the Roman Imperial. Yeah. So it's pre-Roman water mills. That's
I have to go, guys. I have to go get on the phone.
All right,
Yeah,
later,
yeah.
man. Oh, Jesus Christ, this author. Jesus Christ.
The cancer.
Brilliant,
What's the author's
talented,
name?
and skilled. Women wanted to bed him, and men wanted to boast that they drank with him.
Fish fear me. Women want to fuck me. This is the hat that Tony Stark wears. What's the author's name? I gotta know.
Oh, Jesus Christ. His name is Mr. Chaos, I believe.
yeah, Mr.
Alright,
Chaos.
I'll make a note of that. I know
Oh
a
wait,
lot of the
oh
authors.
no. Oh god.
What?
It's the same guy who made the fucking Harry Potter Pokemon series. Oh,
Oh,
no.
that
Oh,
explains so
no.
much. Oh, that explains so much.
Yeah. Fuck, wait. I actually think I remember. I was reading like when book 3 and 4 were coming out, and I remember him talking about in the other notes, talking about, oh hey, I'm making a Song and Ice and Fire Marvel thing.
Oh,
And
Jesus
even
Christ.
back then, I was like, bruh, cringe. Pain.
Yeah, so anyway, interactions between children, blah, 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 touch me and I'll bite you. Lord Antony is arriving, blah, 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 blah. Oh, wow, and his stallion is called Happy. Fucking amazing, author. You're so creative and funny.
Damn.
To those who aren't aware, Happy is Tony Stark's chauffeur in Marvel.
Pain.
This was unfortunate because he was a homosexual. True.
True.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's see. Hogan, blah, 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 blah. Fat man called Tiny, tall man called Little, blah, blah, blah. They say
Fat
he
man.
never
Oh, what the
smiles.
fuck.
Disgraceful, someone murmured behind Arya. Young girl understood by someone who Derry Wolf has a sigil, but he colored it red and gold, making him more fitting as a Lannister than a Stark. Oh wow, he colored it red and gold, just like
Funny.
Marvel. Ha ha, wow. Oh hee hee.
Wow. The Iron Man.
Oh wow. And John said and Tony was looking at his family and blah blah blah. Fortune, Iron Point. Hogan signal, enemies group again to ride in, blah 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 blah. Another murmur started to arrive, blah blah blah. Covered wagon pulled forth, blah blah blah. Blah blah, covered wagon, cloak, blah blah blah. Ned, wow, and he acts exactly like Tony Stark does, the rich billionaire, except this guy isn't a rich billionaire living in the modern era, but still they talk the precise same.
Well, of course.
Wow, convenient. Blah blah blah, see you cat, Tony, really, Anthony, no Tony, Tony, T, Tony. Rodney, what's the word I'm looking for? Asshole. No, looking for blah blah blah. Wow, such riveting interactions between all the characters, just like in Marvel. Blah 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 blah. Jon Snow. I see. Never got that. The goofy last names. Wow, all these names are so goofy. Our traditions are goofy. I hate traditions. Traditions make me sick. I want to drink whiskey. My name's Tony Stark. Rah rah rah. I'm a rich genius and I don't have to care about anything. Rah, 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 rah. Now give me some women to fuck. Rah 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 rah. Blah 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 blah. Blah blah. Next time, Tony meets with King Roberts, and then a bad thing happens to him.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. People use normal names when importing characters. It's so jarring to see Kevin and Joffrey's and Bill's and Mike's and Martin. Yeah, wow. Yeah, there's no plan for the event. As of right now, there is no plan for the Avengers to show up, even though everyone else already has. Mainly because it's too difficult to fit them all in. That being said, for those interested, here's how I would do it. Captain America would become Sir Rogers, a legendary member of the Night Watch.
Shut the fuck up.
So a murderer slash rapist? Okay. He would awaken as He would awaken as an undead in the modern times, but keep his mind and not be subjected to the white ones. And he would also have the strength and power of the undead, but would also be very heroic with it. Thor would still be Thor. And, yeah. Thor would just be straight up Thor still. That wouldn't be completely ridiculous in Song of Ice and Fire, considering that he can fly, shoot beams of electricity, and punch so hard entire skyscrapers collapse.
On the bright side, he'd probably fit in a little bit better.
Probably a little bit, yeah. Hulk! The only thing that could come to mind to create Hulk in Westeros is an attempt by sorcerers of the Narrow Sea to create the Ultimate Warrior. However, I will consider putting Black Widow and Hawkeye into this story. If you could pick only one member of the Stark family to join Tony, who would you pick and why? I have some ideas for this, as I want a Stark child to be involved in Tony's adventures. I don't like that wording.
I hope people just write Howard Stark so that he has to write about grumpy old grandpa instead of one of the kids.
That would be funny, yes. Yes. Let's see, we're currently at 8:40, so I guess we can fit another one in.
Probably.
Let's go with something easy. So, a Harry Potter story, right? Birth of Evil. That sounds pretty easy. How long is it? Too fucking long.
Nice.
How about a Worm story? No, Ruby story. Let's see how long Ruby story is. Too long. How about this one? Is this too long? Also too long. John Ark turned into a dragon. Oh, this one looks short enough. DXD Naruto. Bada bing, bada boom. So is Atin just like straight up just like offed himself?
I don't know.
Oh no. Oh no.
He's just gone.
Oh god. That is the worst thing to ever see in a summary period.
Oh?
Naruto, master of his fate. In a twist, Naruto's life is spared from being completely hopeless. Finding solace in where few would expect, with a family of his own making. Why would no one expect that?
Sorry. The last 2 words of the summary are
Yeah,
really
I
catching my eye.
that's what I was saying. That's yeah.
Hey,
that's what
yeah,
I was
what the
saying.
fuck?
It's also preceded by "don't like, don't read."
Yeah,
My favorite,
yeah.
Oh, yes, excellent.
favorite excuse
Yeah, I know,
in
right?
What we
writing.
needed.
And so anyway, this author, oh boy. So what no one expected Naruto to do to solve his loneliness was to have a family.
Bro, what the...
Nobody expected this. Completely outlandish outcome.
I'm just making family real quick, right, bro?
It's like,
Poof.
okay. Naruto harem, rated M for future chapters. If you don't like this, don't read it. Rewrite canceled.
Oh, that's the stuff you like to see. Hang on, have I read this?
Naruto Hinata
No, I haven't.
Haku Rias. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
All
I
right.
see.
Orbital strike, please.
Oh god, alright. Okay, let's go. Chop, 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 let's go. Naruto did not understand what was happening. It was a beautiful evening in the village of Konoha, and the moon was full, and the stars were shining, and the wind was giving him a gentle caress to the many citizens, and he was running from angry shinobi. Wait, what? He was running from angry shinobi. At the age of 4, the mobs that hunted Naruto were very fast.
Sneaky.
What?
Check his fucking profile.
I am going to eat gun.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oh, wait.
That's
Oh my god.
Oh god. Okay. All right. Fine. Let's see. Profile. Name: Stefan. Age: irrelevant, but somewhere between 20 and 40. You're 26. Am I touchy about my
Probably.
age? No, I'm paranoid. Hobbies: reading, gaming, killing other people's fun. Never mind, you're 21. I just do it to people that don't deserve to have fun. So you.
To be fair, Sneaky, we do that sometimes.
Yeah,
so.
see, but the difference is I don't, like, dress it up as, like, I'm doing something chivalrous. I just do it because I like watching other people suffer.
Based.
He's like, no, my cause is righteous, for I
Our
ruin the
cause is just.
fun of the assholes. Job, what's that? Can I eat it? I don't have one. Never mind, he's 16.
Why am I not surprised? I mean, looking at his join date, he's probably late 20s.
Yeah, unfortunately. Let's see, I
Which,
joined
yeah,
August 2003. Yeah, he's probably around.
Profile updated 2016.
He's probably 31 now.
At least.
Pet peeve: spammer, spelling and grammar. I feel.
Spammer, yeah. Yeah, Sticky.
I feel like this is gonna be put to the test soon.
Oh, yeah.
Personality: insane. Sanity is overrated. I'm starting to get a feel of this guy. Starting to get a feel for this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Likes: coffee!
I'm
exclamation
never mind
point.
the 21. I'm getting a
Exclamation
real
point.
hard 18-year-old vibe. I'm gonna be honest.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Well,
Oh.
Or
I mean, his profile's probably a few years old, so.
well, you have to also keep in mind how early he made his profile. So I would say at minimum,
Yeah.
let's be generous. Say he was 9 when he made his profile, so that would be unfortunately the same age as me.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So Max,
Yeah,
I don't
and I
think
severely
this
doubt
is a
he was that
case
young.
of him being young. I think this is a case of him being retarded and never actually stopped being young.
Yeah, that's probably correct. Man, child, as the term goes.
Man-child. Because do remember that I did previously work with a 38-year-old that still went into debt over buying porn.
OnlyFans type shit,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
That's, well, unfortunate for him. Sucks to say.
Likes coffee exclamation point exclamation point exclamation point exclamation point. Coffee is to me what ramen is to Naruto. If you mess with my coffee, I will hurt you. Other than that,
Probably
I
drug.
like books, anime, and swords. Dislikes
Oh, yes.
stupid
Wow,
people.
I can smell the fedora from here.
I can, yeah. Dislikes stupid people. A good portion of my family. Homophobes.
Bullshit.
I see where this is going.
Unfortunate.
Bigots.
So it's weird that he differentiates those two, by the way. Most people just throw those under the umbrella term of bigots.
Yeah. Apparently homophobes aren't bigots.
I throw them in
Apparently
the
not.
umbrella
I
term
guess
based.
that's good news for some people, I used to know.
That's like the fucking meme. Look, I'm retarded, not stupid.
True.
Things I loathe. Rapists, arrogant people, unreasoning prejudice. Prejudice. Hold on.
You okay there, Sneaky?
I have to know.
What do you have to know?
I have to know the definition. Prejudice.
Okay.
A preconceived judgment or opinion. An instance of judgment or opinion. An irrational attitude. Okay. Okay.
So I'm not prejudiced. It's completely rational.
Unreasoning. Wow, he hates unreasoning. Wow, author, aren't you just so fucking special?
Unreasoning, irrational. Okay, that's...
Yes. Yeah. See, that's what I had to figure out. Because I was like, did the author just say he hates irrationality? It's like,
yeah, I hate illogical irrationality. Wait, hang on a second.
it's like, bro? Favorite shows: Big List, No Order, Naruto, NCIS, Inuyasha. Why am I not being Card Captor, Claymore, Fate Stay Night? Not being surprised by any of these. Infinite Stratos, really not surprised. Wow, I am so not surprised by
You should
Infinite
not put
Stratos
Infinite
being
Stratos
on
as
there.
a favorite anything.
Yeah. So,
I mean, it's a bit of a comedy
let's
show,
just
really.
say I like all anime.
It
Favorite
is
pairings in
a comedy
anime.
show,
I love
but
all of them.
It's pretty
Unintentional.
fucking rough, and there's a much better version of it. So,
Well, yeah.
My Japanese name is Matsura Matsuto for Pine Tree Coast Sacred Person.
oh, I remember Japanese name generators.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was actually one. I did actually see one that like this is the most legit one because all it does is literally take your name and convert it to the hiragana or the katakana. It would be
Basic
it.
rant.
I
Am
don't
I
think I
an
ever worked with mine.
asshole? Will you hate me? Probably. Will I care? No. Welcome to reality, motherfucker. It's not a good thing.
Oh,
I
the
could
irony.
go on and on, but people reading this don't care either. You're fucking right about
the
that.
irony.
I, however, am running out of things I can bother to write on my profile. Oh, one more thing. No Jackie Chan uncle comments. I live in Canada. It's a fucking leaf.
Yeah, it's a fucking leaf.
He's a
Airstrike
fucking
it.
leaf.
Why wouldn't you just put that in the profile? You can put your location in the bio.
I don't know.
He's retarded. Gotta keep
Let's
going,
see,
though.
not to sound insulting. So the next rant: abused Naruto plot devices. Abused Naruto plot devices.
Oh, oh no. Oh no. Sneaky. Scroll down past the retarded poem.
Oh,
And the thing below that. And just check the list of names. Because
yes,
fucking
dude,
god.
I love the the classic common sense rip thing. That was classic,
Yeah.
and then people fucking spanned it, and I hated
Yeah,
it.
but just read through the thing below it. The Dreamers
Oh,
roster.
the Dreamers. Oh, fucking Christ. Neon Zangetsu, Sakura Demon, Pain 17. I know all of these. I know
Yeah.
all. Incredible
Well,
Muffin.
keep reading.
Oh, God.
Keep reading.
What is
Keep
the
Deus
going.
Why is
Swiftblade,
Gray there?
Noodle Hammer, Lanky
What?
Nathan, Gray, Gray,
and he's not here?
and Giordino, Dreaming of a Shattered Dawn. I know all of these people.
So what is the Dreamers roster?
It was a fanfiction collaboration group where you would offer your knowledge to help other authors write for a genre or a section.
Okay. That actually doesn't sound like a bad idea in theory.
No, in theory, it doesn't. Noodle Hammer, for example, Lanky Nathan and Noodle Hammer worked together a lot to write a majority of Noodle Hammer stories was baited by Lanky Nathan. And you know, on their own, Incredible Muffin isn't a terrible author either. Giordino he's okay. He's not great, but he's okay. Pain 17 is also another one of those authors where you're like, all right, fine, I'll give it a shot. But yeah, no, all the rest of them are super fucking painful. Like Neon Zangetsu, Deus Swiftblade, fucking, oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I pinged Gray asking, what the fuck is this?
A future Cauldron mod in the making. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, no, this guy is oof. And like, of course, all other author collabs, they all shattered because all of these authors are typically introverts who don't really like talking with other people, and when they do talk with other people, all they want to talk about is what they enjoy. And none of them, of course, enjoy the same things to the same level, so they quickly fall apart.
Yeah.
Like, I can almost guarantee that Gray will not even remember being in the Dreamers.
No, he did.
Oh, he
Oh, he did?
Yeah, it said it went nowhere.
Yeah, like I fucking said.
Yeah. God. That was before the Discord, before the SDN. Damn.
But
That's
yeah,
almost
so
fucking
anyway,
5 years ago.
abused Naruto tropes. So, I love how this guy has a rant on his profile about abused Naruto tropes that make no sense, and then immediately starts one of his stories with, and then Naruto was being chased by an angry mob of shinobi on his 4th birthday.
Why would the
Coincidence?
Shinobi care about that?
Hmm?
Most of the Shinobi should be like, nah, we get it, it's a seal.
Yeah, no, most
No,
shinobi would
really,
know what a
like-
seal is.
The only ones that made sense to be angry were the ones who were like Mizuki and Iruka's age, and even Iruka was like, I can't blame the kid.
Well, no, he did blame the kid. Canonically, he blamed the kid for a while, and then as Naruto continued being in his class, he realized that Naruto was actually basically just like him. and
Oh
that
no,
he couldn't
I
be.
know. Like, we get to the point where Iruka's like, well, I can't really blame the kid because he's not the fox. Ugh.
Wow,
God,
no
I'm sorry,
shit.
I'm just thinking about how sealing is,
Yeah.
as has been discussed, Sneaky, the best thing to happen in that world, and yet no one understands enough of a seal to be like, a kunai and a scroll does not make the scroll a kunai.
Wait, what if it did?
That
Curious.
He's brandishing a scroll at me. What's in the scroll, kid? Do you really want to find out? It could be anything. It could be a watermelon. It could be a knife. It could be a bomb.
Yeah, you know that would
It's a car bomb.
that
Come
would
out, you
be an
black and tan.
that would certainly be an interesting ninja. He gets by on bluffing what's in the scroll. To this day, no one knows.
And then one day someone catches him. It's a box of oranges.
Man, if you bluffed your way onto a blacklist with a scroll full of oranges, you fucking deserve that spot.
So I love how he phrases this entire thing too, by the way. First up, not to sound insulting, but I have to wonder why certain stories, when they use the exile banishment plot device, allow a civilian council a say on shinobi matters. Well, first off, shinobi council does, neither of those exist actually, so. On top of that, the shinobi villages are military dictatorships ruled by the Hokage, who is advised by an elder council. Advised. The council, with the Hokage in place, have no authority in shinobi affairs. Really, people, try to use that gray matter between your ears, because it's not just there to make you look pretty. Let's face the truth. A council of civilians having a say in military matters is a really stupid of ideas, and not even the United States has fallen to that level of retardation yet. Side note, I'd like to state that I do not in any way hate the US. It's simply from my point of view. The leaders of that country have made numerous mistakes in history. One of them was being an invasion in Canada. That I've been told is not in their history books. 1812, no. The burning of the White House is in our history books.
Actually, though, when you mentioned it to him, like,
Yeah.
wait, the War of 1812. No, I think I
No,
remember
it's-
my history book mentioning an invasion at Niagara Falls.
Yeah, no, we tried.
So it was a footnote
Yeah, but
Yeah.
good old
because that
Rambler,
war
right?
is a footnote.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
We had a lot more.
Well, now,
things
to
happen.
be fair to Canada, Max, the Leaves really don't have any other wars they were part of. So it was a
True,
big event for them.
How many
That's not to
lists of
say
wars
Canada
are
hasn't made retarded mistakes, but patriotism glosses over mistakes. And since, as far as I know, they aren't mentioned in our history textbooks.
Bro.
Ah, yes.
Even we have our mistakes mentioned in history texts, like
yes,
suppressing
Canada,
the natives.
the Paragons.
States. Yeah.
Aren't you
Why
natives,
is there
though?
a conflict called the Beaver Wars that took place over the course of 92 years?
That's impressive.
Based.
Based.
What the fuck?
Based beavers.
Yeah,
1609
beavers.
to 1701. What the fuck, Canada?
Based. Pretty epic.
So anyway, now that this author's done ranting about using the gray matter in between your ears, the author will then proceed to start up with a highly abused trope of Naruto being chased down by shinobi during his 4th birthday.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
Oh, hey author, you want to eat some fucking humble pie? Like, I mean, shit, I know I ain't humble at all, but goddamn, man. At least I don't use overused Naruto tropes after screaming about using overused Naruto tropes. At the age of 4 years, said nobody fucking ever. Besides maybe Epstein. Naruto was pretty fast. His short, sunshine blonde hair waving in the wind of his passing, naturally spiking in every direction as it was completely untamable, as the boy who owned it. I don't like how you're describing Naruto.
Fucking Christ.
The 4-year-old is untamable. I would really appreciate it if you didn't refer to taming 4-year-olds.
Yeah, that's kind of uncomfortable. That phrasing.
Dressed in simple charcoal-colored pants, a dark, long red sleeve shirt, and black sandals, Naruto kept running, following hot on his heels. Somehow, was a squad of Anbu.
Oh, okay.
Food tastes best when someone else pays for it.
Yes, it does.
Oh, I
nice.
guess he's been eating for the last hour and 20.
And then he ran into a
Yeah.
pair of legs covered in a long skirt. Well, shit. Ara Naruto-sama, where might you be heading in such a rush? A kind, somewhat amused, distinctly feminine voice asked. Looking up from his position on the ground, he realized it was his caretaker, Uchiha Mikoto. A beautiful woman, as I'm now going to spend the rest of the paragraph describing how hot Mikoto is.
Wait, is this when we find
he's
out what the
4.
author's fetish is?
Yeah.
He's fucking 4.
I paint
Come
bombed
the
the
fuck on.
Anbu at age 4.
Bro.
I'm good to see the author is. So, by the way, and to give you context, the author has gone on a rant about how he hates stupid people and how you should use the gray matter between your ears so you don't write really shitty Naruto tropes, and then proceeded to write a story
shitty Naruto tropes.
where he's being chased by angry shinobi and he's pranking the Anbu at age 4.
I see. Yes.
Also, he referred to
yeah.
Naruto as taming the 4-year-old.
Yes.
Yeah, we all had that reaction. First to arrive was another raven-haired woman, Kurenai, who is apparently in the Anbu, but everyone knows her for being in the Anbu. Author, I don't think you've quite grasped what the Anbu are.
Totally fine. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
all good. Obviously.
Respect her and she'll respect you. Standing taller than Mikoto.
Now hold on a minute. I don't respect nobody never. So what then?
And then the last of Naruto caretakers showed up. Ichiraku Ayame. Just 5 years older than Naruto, Ayame was a nice girl and was also really hot. And I'm going to spend the rest of the paragraph talking about how hot this 9-year-old is.
How many? Okay. There we go. Now the
Excuse
author's
me,
putting
what?
their fetish on the screen for us.
Oh god.
Naruto,
I mean,
what
you
did
know,
you do this time?
knowing our profile of the author,
Yeah.
yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, not at all, no.
He is the kind of guy to be like that.
He is the fedora tipper.
Yeah.
He's also a male feminist, and I reset the clock, everyone. Another male feminist has been caught with child porn.
Whoops. Here we go again.
Oops. Yes. As one does. Oops.
Yeah,
Whoops. Did I do that?
I don't know how that child porn got on my computer. I swear, officer.
I definitely didn't load it on this flash drive.
Speaking
Yes,
of
your
which,
officer, the child consent.
speaking of which, another little thing that Callie did dump on us during her drunk stream when she got really drunk off of a lot of wine. I mean, a lot of wine. And she went maybe through like 2 to 3 bottles of wine.
Woo.
God,
Um,
Callie, please.
is that apparently she caught Gura naked.
Oh, yeah.
Again?
No,
we
because
know.
when they were doing test streams, apparently Gura figured out a way. Well, I say figured out a way as if she intentionally did it. She mead a way into getting her model to show up without clothes on.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay.
Yeah, and so everyone saw it. Callie took screenshots.
Yeah, but
And
that's
then
not all.
printed them out.
Callie.
And then deleted the files because she was afraid that one day she'd be on stream showing her desktop for some reason, and she would accidentally click on the file named Gura Nudes.
But so she kept the files, right?
No,
No, she
She
got
kept
rid
the
of them.
pictures.
No, she has the pictures.
Printouts.
Yeah,
That's
she
fine.
has them as printouts now, and she put them into a box that she's going to then proceed to tease Guro with at some point in time in the future.
Excellent.
Okay, and by tease Guro, she means use for fun times.
It's questionable. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
She likes them short.
True. We're in, boys.
Yeah, I was
We're
gonna
in.
say, and that's why Kiara will never ever get anywhere. Thank God.
Well, I mean, Kiara is shorter by
Kiara's an
a
Australian
centimeter.
now, so.
Yeah.
Okay, look, Kiara's not real, and she's not a real person. So
She is
the
mountain
sooner
German,
she
so
fails
yeah.
out of Hollow Live, the better.
Ooh. Ouch.
Spicy take.
Harsh.
Her voice angers me on a physical level.
Yeah, honestly, the worst
In
part
addition
about
to
it is
paining me on a physical level, I should be
the
clear.
worst part about it is that you know that it's not her real voice, and it's like, please.
Oh,
Stop.
yeah.
Like her German voice actually sounds a lot better.
When she did her German debut, I was like, wow, she's talking in her normal voice because she never really practiced how to talk with that super high pitched screech in German. So when
And
she
by the
talked
way,
German, she talked in a completely different tone.
Yeah, by the way, I despise Japan for popularizing that.
The high pitched tone thing? Yeah.
Yeah. Damn the Japanese.
Oh yeah, Ame and her fucking Bubba voice. That's literally the voice the voice that Ame does, the pitch that she does, and how she speaks and talks in that tone. That's entirely the voice that she uses to talk to her dog.
Yep, it's true.
Ah.
We have a ton of stream clips from before she became Amelia.
Yeah.
Where she speaks completely normally. And it's very different.
It's very different. And then sometimes Callie just treats chat like she's still teaching kindergarten.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame her.
I mean, you know. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Girl also took a mental age test.
Please tell me it was 5.
15.
15.
And I'm
Which
just
is,
sitting here
well,
like, yep. So fucking that
She's young at heart.
And all of chat was like, wow, that's higher than we thought. Yeah. Anyway, so Anbu then showed up. So these people, so Kurenai wasn't Anbu. It's just she just also happened to show up.
Okay.
Okay. It was a full squad of 5 people. How do we know it's a full squad? Each one arriving in descending order of rainbow colors, and no one was quite sure if that was intentional, so no one said anything about it. The apparent leader, if the order was to be believed, was covered in bright red, accentuating her obviously female form. Bruh. Her cat-marked mask and short purple hair, blah blah blah, Saru, Taka, Kuma, Iruka. None of them seemed very happy, and despite the fact that you couldn't see their faces. All of this for a prank, 3 mid-range pranks in the same number of hours, but still, they were just pranks, jokes. Aren't people supposed to laugh at jokes? That's why Naruto was confused. Why was no one ever laughing at his jokes?
Arthur, it's because you're not funny. And I do mean you.
Yeah. Yeah, so he just, on a whim, snuck into the Anbu headquarters, paint-bombed them, somehow outran them, and it wasn't until running into Mikoto that the Anbu finally managed to catch up with Naruto. At 4 years old. Okay.
Yeah, seems like a pretty heavy AU story.
Yeah, no shit.
He told jokes that were for fun and humor, and why wasn't anyone laughing? He did well, right? And then he said these thoughts out loud, proved him correct when everyone else busted out into gut-busting outright laughter, the Anbu included.
And then everyone clapped, and the whole train
literally
gave him...
the train stopped, and everyone clapped and filed off, and then the bus ran through the train, and everyone got off of the bus clapping. Yeah, this is just straight up just... And then all the Anbu then proceeded to leave, vowing to increase headquarters security. Like last time he did it, and the time before that. And they were really sad now that they couldn't stop a single child from finding the Anbu headquarters every time they moved it and paint bombing it.
Yeah,
Have you considered not being trash on
The 4-year-old child.
Oh god.
Yeah, sometimes I look at stories like this and I just have one of like, I wonder what the foreign spies think about all this.
You know what I bet? You know what I hope the foreign spies are thinking? We should recruit this kid.
I mean, a really good subversion of this is that Naruto keeps bombing the decoy, and so any foreign spies that see the paintballed Anbu chasing Naruto around get a vastly underestimated idea of the capacity of the Leaf Village.
True.
But that doesn't make much sense, because they're currently in the era where everyone's threatening everyone else with nuclear weapons. And saying, hey, look how weak and helpless we are. Our Anbu can be paintballed by 4-year-olds. Doesn't exactly...
It doesn't scream MAD, it screams come take us, come invade us, nuke
it
us.
screams, come take all of our money and income.
Yeah, just fucking... If you want to be attacked, great plan. But if you're in a nuclear standoff,
I mean, they might as well
you don't
just
want to be
slap...
attacked.
Yeah, they might as well just slap no ninja zone on the front of Konoha.
Yeah.
If it was a plan by the Anbu to get the foreign, to get the other villages to be like, man, they are such bitches, we'll just plan the invasion out nice and careful, that'd be okay, but
like
Listen,
I said,
guys,
I can see that as a
we've
sort
got
of
this.
subversion to the trope, but it's better to not, in this case, it's better to not have the trope at all than to subvert it.
True.
Naruto-sama, please refrain from such acts in the future, no matter how entertaining they might be. Mikado said in a voice knowing that he wouldn't comply with her wishes at all. How did Naruto know this? Because she was smiling and giggling at it. He loved that laugh and smile, and felt as if it was reserved for only him. Certainly her husband never made her laugh. Oh man, cucking... Naruto's about to cuck her to Sasuke's dad.
Fucking yeah. This is what we in the Middle East call haram.
Like mother, like daughter. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
that's...
Uh-oh.
Please, no.
That's,
Wait.
haram.
Naruto
Haram.
didn't understand. Wait, hold the fuck on.
This is not halal.
Certainly,
against the
her
word of
husband
Allah.
never made her laugh, not since he threw her out of the Uchiha clan for giving birth to a daughter, Tsukiko.
Damn, what are they? Chinese?
The Uzumaki
One
family
child policy
taking them
time?
in as vassals immediately. Naruto didn't understand why Fugaku would throw Mikoto out because she gave birth to a daughter. It made no sense. She was his wife. And, this is some very advanced thought processes going on for a 4-year-old. But hey, this is also
he's
a
smart
4-year-old.
4-year-old, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is a 4-year-old
Just
that
like-
broke into the Anbu headquarters, so...
Yeah, he's a 4-year-old.
Clearly, it checks out.
Trained really
I don't know
hard,
why
so
you're
the
being
body
so
of a
aggro.
7-year-old
Yeah,
and the brain of a
they
12-year-old.
trained really hard, so he has a body of a 9-year-old. It's okay, guys.
Because that just makes everything so much better.
Yeah, that makes it so much better, don't you?
Yeah, he also trained his mind really hard. He's about as smart as like
Yeah,
a
he in his
12-year-old.
mind, he actually has been using time seals inside his mind, so he actually is
Yeah,
mentally that of a 35-year-old, which
Exactly.
makes it okay.
Yeah, wow. Curious. So is the author.
Don't worry, guys.
Hmm.
The dragon just looks like she's 12. She's 1,000.
Hmm.
Guys, just because the
Interesting,
dragon
now
acts like a
face the wall.
12-year-old, looks like a 12-year-old, dresses like a 12-year-old, and has the personality of a 12-year-old, doesn't mean she's 12. She's actually 1,000.
Indeed. Now face the wall.
Now face the wall. Interesting idea. Now face the wall.
Neat concept. Now enter the chamber.
I'd love to subscribe
Step
to your
on the
newsletter
crane.
just as soon as you enter this sealed, airtight room.
Would you like some cookies? Please step into my kitchen.
Your kitchen
yes.
appears to have a floor made out of razor blades.
Yeah, it's an
Yeah, that's just. Yeah, I mean, that's just zoning. Just come on.
oven. It's
just
the
get it.
modern art.
meat-o-matic.
Modern design.
It's a modern design.
Oof.
It's a postmodern design, don't you know?
Indeed.
This is like
Exactly.
the scene from Men in Black where the little girl is reading quantum physics. Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, no, you better shoot that girl. She might be a fucking alien in disguise.
Alright.
I actually genuinely did like his justification for that in Men in Black, the first one.
Based.
Because like that's like a fair point. It's like a 7-year-old girl's walking around with a quantum physics book, and you're being told to be on the lookout for alien infiltrators, and you're just like,
Well, I
Hold
mean,
on.
What's all this then?
and again, to be fair, he was the only one to pass that portion of the test with flying colors because he's like, well, that dude's just blowing his nose. That dude's just trying to help an old lady.
Yeah.
I should watch that movie again. It's been
the
a while.
original Men in Black was the original was so good. The sequels.
No, okay, 2 was okay.
Yeah, 2 was okay. 3 kind of really.
There was a
take it-
decrease in quality. We'll leave it at that.
3 was bad, and 4.
Oh shit, there was a 4th, wasn't there?
There's also a
Yeah.
5th one now.
And the thing that was so disappointing about 4 was like the actual actors were good actors, right? Like, but oh boy,
You know what's a little bit ironic about the reboot of Men in Black versus the original Men in Black? In the reboot of Men in Black, the main character is that little girl with the quantum physics book.
Curious.
Like, I'm not even joking. Like she's like in the new Men in Black, she's like some sort of super prodigy who like is super smart and amazing and like hacked the Men in Black or something. And like that's why they brought her in, because they're like, well, we can make you forget everything, or you can join us. And her response is like, well, I've been on the hunt for this information for literally my entire life, so you'd have to make me forget my whole life. So it's you can't make me forget, because
I
I'll
mean,
just pick up the trace
no, they
again.
absolutely can.
They can.
They've clearly demonstrated the ability to do literally that.
Yeah, I think that was really her justification
Yeah,
for a
from what I
top
remember.
secret government-run organization
Yeah,
that has very few qualms about the ethics involved in wiping a person's life all the way back to the age of 3 or 4.
yeah.
Curious.
Don't forget, they don't just do that. Like, if you retire, they go, okay, the last 50 years of your life,
Gone. Yeah. And they're just like, it's a lot to get rid of, but your brain will fill in things.
You're a postal worker now.
Another interesting bit is I actually heard about this story. So there was a national security clearance, involved in doing various missions for the U.S. Bombing missions, both by drone and by plane and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And the story from this guy is about how when he was leaving the forces, the final debriefer absolutely loved his job, and you knew this, according to him, because he had one of those little pens that actually flashed from the Men in Black. It didn't do anything. It obviously didn't do anything, but at the end of the debrief, he would hold up the pen and flash you in the eyes and be like, all right, now you've forgotten everything, leave.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Tax dollars at work, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, but like, come on. I'm okay with my tax dollars being used for a meme.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's fair. Like, apparently the guy's been doing it for like 19 years or something, so,
Wow.
hats off to him.
Little did those people know that Neuralizer actually worked. And the mention they remember was the cover story.
Little did they know everything they recall was actually the cover story. Now that's a fucking writing prompt if I've ever heard one.
Oh.
Jesus Christ, Max. You should do that. You should make a one-shot writing prompt out of that.
I don't think I've got the
chops
for that.
Fair enough. So anyway, yeah, so Fugaku threw Mikoto and female Sasuke out of the family when they were born. And the Uzumaki family scooped them up. And even though Tsukiko was only 4 years old, she took her duty seriously, like mother, like daughter. Poor girl, tomorrow would be her day to try and keep Naruto out of trouble. Mikoto suddenly felt some sympathy for her second child. Uzumaki Naruto was a force of nature. Diverting him was possible, but stopping him was impossible. If he was bored, you either started running or and hope he didn't chase you, or you offered up someone else for the pranks. 4-year-old. Okay. Was it cruel to toss a random person into the path of Hurricane Naruto? Yes. Will his servants continue to do it? Obviously. Why? Because they wanted to... Why? Because by doing so, they spared the sanity of the masses dealing with a bored Uzumaki. People thought Naruto was bad. They should remember his now deceased mother, Kami. That woman could have Loki taking notes. Oh yes, Loki, the famous Japanese god of tricksters.
Obviously.
How do you feel about that, Arn?
Hey Max, they're about to show off
Loki, the
Gundam
god of
Double X.
tricksters, is apparently famous in Japan.
Damn.
Yeah. So blah blah blah. They kept calling Naruto master. Blah blah blah. Kyuubi. Oh, so they're just gonna straight up tell Naruto about the Kyuubi at age 4. Okay. Even though like the whole reason not to tell him was because he would go around screaming about how he's the Kyuubi. But
Guys, I'm a nuclear bomb. You're a what?
oh, and apparently, despite the fact that it's canon that Naruto was like the first person to learn Kyuubi's name, Mikoto just casually refers to the Kyuubi as Kurama. That's cool. Sure. Priorities, Naruto. Priorities. First things first. Blah blah blah. He was super angry. That people hated him. blah 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 blah. Thoughtfulness of a 3-year-old child. Kurama hadn't tried to kill or maim him, and so by making his prison nicer, Naruto just popped right into his mindscape and was like, "What? Bam! You're not in the sewer anymore. You're now frolicking on the hills. Now give me power." And Kurama was like, "You betcha, Naruto. I love kids like you. Here's a whole bunch of power with no strings attached."
Yes, that sounds like a great idea.
And also Kurama would help teach Naruto basically everything. And Kurama, blah blah blah. However, there was 2 side effects to this deal that Naruto didn't know about, and Kurama didn't feel like enlightening him. He would find out once he hit puberty. I don't like where this is going. Also, female Kyuubi, and she has the hots for Naruto.
Don't know about that.
Anyway, so yeah, that's the end of the first chapter. So effectively, Naruto is going to create his own harem, and from how the author has been describing certain characters, I think we can all get an idea that basically anything with tits and a paragraph-long description is likely going to be in his harem. So all around, excellent story from this author. Absolutely fantastic and definitely memorable. Memorable. There we go. Thank you. So, with that being said, I think we're done for tonight. I think everyone is definitely storied out, and we went on a little bit later just so I could continue to torture people even more. Ain't I just the sweetest? Just
this is what I get for
about
going
you
to eat
guys.
food.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
You know, if you hadn't left for an hour 20, we wouldn't still be here, probably.
Exactly.
I don't know.
It's likely, yeah.
Never know
I'll
what's sneaky.
see you guys all next time, however, because today is only a Tuesday, and there is a Friday coming up, and of course on Fridays we have another session of everyone's favorite podcast. We'll see you all next time, because there is always more, and it does always get worse.